We're here at the Green Hand Bookstore, where we're going to go in and talk to Michelle Soulier. Michelle does a lot of our historical research for the locations we're going to investigate, and we use a lot of the information that she finds in her research to determine if this is a good location for us to go visit. So let's go on in and have a chat with Michelle and see what she has to say. So what's this new location you have, Michelle?
Well, this time you're going to the state capital, Augusta.
Great.
And you're going to be checking out the Governor Hill Mansion.
Oh, wow.
It's gone by a lot of different names over the years since the Hill family relinquished it. Most recently as the St. Paul's Retreat Center. Mm-hmm. So.
When was the house built?
It was built in, construction was started in 1901.
Okay.
The designer was actually John Calvin Stevens, who was hugely famous in Maine. And it was done in predominantly a colonial revival style. So it's a very, it's a very ostentatious
very regal building.
Yes, very regal. That's a good word for it. Yeah, so.
Now, was it originally built for Governor Hill, or?
It was, in fact, at a fair amount of expense, which was not paid for by the state. He was actually well off on his own. He also had married a very well-off wife. Uh-huh. So he didn't have any problem dropping astonishing amounts of money on the construction. In fact, a load of bricks was brought in from St. Louis post-haste via American Express for about $2,000.
Oh my goodness.
Which was a big enough deal at the time for it to appear in a couple of different trade journals as an excessive spending. They finished the construction in 1902, and by January of 1903, they were ready enough to do a big gala reception to show everybody their new home. And they lived there. Let's see. He was governor of Maine for 2 terms. People seem to really like him. He was reelected to every post he held, pretty much.
Was he governor when the house was built?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he was. He was going into his 2nd term because he had been reelected, and he did not get to enjoy it very long. He passed away in 1912. So he only got to enjoy the house for about
10 years?
9 years. Yeah, not even 10 years. So that's kind of sad. But his family kept ownership of the house well into the 1940s. And at the end of the 1940s, around 1948, 1949, they presented it to a group called the Oblates of Mary, or more formally, the Missionary Oblates of Mary Immaculate, which is a religious group and with missionary leanings. And they maintained it, they used it, eventually they transferred ownership to Portland's Catholic Diocese. Yep. And then from there, it was sold to Catholic Charities of Maine very recently. And then after they owned it for about 8 years, they realized that they'd bitten off more than they could chew, and such a huge historic estate was kind of expensive to maintain. So.
Now, how big is this building?
It is quite large. It's 3 stories in height, and between all the floors you get almost 30,000 square feet.
Oh my goodness.
Of room to move around in. It had banquet halls, large reception halls. When he had it built, he knew he was going to be using it for a lot of state affairs, and he designed it. He had it designed with that in mind. Lots of reception areas, lots of places where lots of people could gather together and have fun, or talk business. So whatever he did well, or he didn't do it.
And based on the research you've done in this location, what makes it a good fit for us?
Well, it's obviously seen a lot of both family life and public life, especially more recently. And when it was used as a retreat center, a lot of the use of the building, besides just being used for meetings, and general public stuff like that, there are a lot of closed retreats in which people mention having epiphanic experiences of epiphany, of realizations, of great spiritual insight. People went there to sort of figure things out quietly and contemplatively in a friendly and safe environment. So it was the location of a lot of focused energy, you could say.
Teresa and I are about to go out through the house and set up our cat cams. Our cat cams are the security cameras that we use that connect to our DVR system. We use tape to indicate on the floor or on the wall the spot where we're going to put those cameras when we go back through. While we're going through, we're going to get our host, Elaine, to show us a 2-bedroom apartment that is completely disconnected from the rest of the house. You have to get to it through a cubby hole through the attic. This apartment was used by the Hills back during the Japanese Internment to hide some Japanese refugees so they wouldn't be taken away. And these Japanese refugees eventually became servants for the Hills in this house.
We're about to start our investigation at the Governor Hill Mansion in Augusta, on State Street in Augusta. And right now it's 12:26. And we are about ready to take all of our gear and go to our first location. And this is some of our specialty gear that we may or may not work with during this investigation. This right here is the RT EVP. It'll play back real time, or it'll play back with a 10, 5, or 15 second delay. We have our ghost box and our small ghost box, and big speakers. We also have an Ovilus, which we also attach to the big speakers. We have a K3 meter, which measures ionic disturbances as well as disturbances in the electromagnetic field. We just have to pick one. We can't do both at the same time. Then we have the puck, which we haven't worked with yet on camera, so that would be interesting. I know John is looking to work with this one, so we'll have to bring this computer unit with us in order to make the puck work. But the puck is basically, it does a whole bunch of things, but one of the things it does is works as an Ovilus, but it actually writes it out. Whatever it's saying, instead of saying it out loud, it writes it out on the screen, so it's very interesting. Then we have our 2 millimeters, which we will definitely be bringing with us. They measure electromagnetic disturbances in the electromagnetic field, and they also tell us what the temperature is. And then we have this new device here, the EFP, which I'm not entirely sold on as of yet, so I'm not sure that we'll work with that tonight. But the EFP is supposed to let you know immediately when there's vocals or sounds that are in the EVP, the true EVP range. And it lets you know by this little scale here. If it drops below the baseline, it's supposed to be something interesting. I don't know. We haven't really had much success with it, but who knows? We could tonight, if we decide to use it. Okay, so are you ready? Ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay.
Were we going to turn the heat off?
How do we do that?
I saw it on one of the walls.
Let me have that.
There's a thermostat in this little plug right here.
What the heck? I just heard what sounded like a vocal right beside me, so the camera should have picked that up.
What's that tapping?
It's the heat.
This tapping here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's... I'm not sure if this one is doing anything. And I saw a digital one.
It was in there. I turned it off in there.
Okay.
I just heard another vocal. It was a woman, and she went, behind them in there. I'm sitting out here in the dark by myself. I would rather not be right now.
So you got the heat going still, or?
Yep,
We're trying to turn off the heat,
or at least the fan.
We can't
Yeah,
seem to
there's one
find-
here.
the control.
It says off, but the fan is on.
Okay, so that one that I had in there controls them all. It says off in there too. It might take a minute for the. fix to
Yeah,
turn on.
just shut off. Once the heat's gone. All right.
All right.
Did the heat go off, or? Sounds like it's still on. Is it getting shut off?
It will.
What's that sound? Is it gonna take a minute to go off?
Yeah, the fan has to.
You just hear something?
Yeah, I did. Did you?
Yeah. I thought it was John. But it wasn't. I mean, it sounded like. I heard that earlier too when I was setting up the camera in the library.
12:45. Cat's Zoom. Sitting on the table on the second floor in the governor's mansion. Governor, the what?
Governor Hill, man.
Governor Hill Mansion.
There was a woman that just went, Okay, that was me saying okay. All right. $12:45 by Cat's Watch. I just turned on Tony Olympus and Cat Olympus, and we are on the second floor in the Governor Hill Mansion. Tony Olympus on a bureau, which is right outside of Mrs. Hill's room.
We were having a wedding reception, and it was about midnight, and the only people that were left was the bride and groom, and the mother and the father of the bride and the groom. So we were standing right here. They were saying goodnight and thanking me, and everybody was gone but them. Of course, I'm used to it, so I didn't pay any attention to it, and they're standing right where you are, and I'm standing here, and I just said, I have a glance of somebody walking, and then I hear a door slam. So I keep talking to them, and they're both looking at me, and they're saying, please tell me that you just heard and saw what we just heard and saw.
So they saw the lady
Yes.
right, and they heard the door slam?
Yes.
So she must have been going up the stairs
And
and
then,
then closed the door behind her when she was...
yeah, so I said, yes, I did, but I'm used to it. And they both looked at each other, and they went, I think we're leaving now.
That's very cool.
Definitely a door slamming. My husband was cleaning the hall after the reception, so I had him, just in case, come up. You never know, somebody could have come in.
Right.
And he went out, all the doors were locked. So. Yeah. This room here, originally of course, was a bedroom. And when we used to do retreats, we used to have like sometimes 150 people sleep here. And this one bedroom, nobody ever wanted.
We want it. Where is
Any
it?
particular reason?
They just didn't like it.
Hmm.
So I would have 100 people here, I mean, they'd call and I'd say, well, we're full, we have one bedroom left. And they'd say, well, let me guess.
Which
Is it
one
room?
it?
No, that's all right.
Yeah.
When I come up to turn off all the lights, as I'm coming down the stairs, the lady in white will pass me very quickly.
So you'll see her or you'll feel her?
I'll
Or?
see her shadow very quickly, and oftentimes I'll feel
Like her brush
like
against
she's
you?
brushing up against me,
Wow.
like get out of my way type
Yeah.
of.
Wow. And do you feel any chill or warmth or anything like that when she comes by? Or?
Usually a chill,
A chill?
and it's not a scary chill,
Yeah.
it's a,
So is there any specific pattern to the lights? You mentioned a lot of times you'll go back to your residence and look over to the mansion, you'll see the lights on. Any particular floor or any particular pattern in time or behavior with those lights coming on?
it's always these,
These ones right here?
yes.
Okay. And this is the second floor where the hill's lit?
Mhm.
And that's usually around what time again?
Let me see, I do my rounds, then I go upstairs. It's usually between 7 and 8, 8:30. And then my husband will come down, or I will come back down and turn them off, go back upstairs. I've seen it as late as midnight sometimes.
That's neat because you feel and see the lady in white come down around 6:37.
Oh, I never.
And then the lights come on around 7:38, so they went down for dinner. Now they're coming back up and it's dark. You can turn the lights on so you can see to get to the bedroom. So that pattern almost makes sense.
I just heard a female. Which one's the master bedroom?
What was that?
You heard a female voice.
Oh, it wasn't a word. It was.
Well,
it was.
actually Mrs. Hill was in there, and there's a little, I wish they were still original, there was a little alcove off the bedroom where they had the nursery, and then Mr. Hill slept in that room.
Also, they had separate bedrooms.
Yes, with a joining bathroom.
Was that common back then, or was that?
It must have been, yeah.
And I'm going to put. John, will you walk with me, please? I'm going to put. Cat Olympus down in this back hallway, and I'm gonna put it on the railing right here. See this railing right here? That's where I'm gonna put it. Make sure it's going. Yep, it's going. And it's kind of within hearing distance of that room 205. Room 205 is back here. It's right there.
This is where we heard the whispering earlier.
Room 205 is right here, and nobody likes to stay in that room. But when they had retreats here, nobody wanted to stay in room 205. Even when it was open, even when it was free and available, people wouldn't take it. It would stay empty.
Can you come up to this table and knock on the table in a non-threatening way? Or speak into one of the recorders on the table and say your name? Is that your stomach, Tony?
No.
Hello? Hello? Did you hear that male vocal? Did you hear a voice?
I didn't hear a voice, but I did hear a noise.
That was Tony. Me exhaling. Is there a man here with us right now? Can you please say something out loud so that we can hear you? Away from us? Loudly? Please? Hello? Hello? Are you in one of these bedrooms? Can you knock on one of the doors to let us know which one you're in? Can you do that within the next 30 seconds so that we can hear? John, tell me you heard that.
I heard that.
What was that?
It almost sounded like metal pipes banging.
Thank you.
You asked them downstairs if they made any noise?
Did you guys make a noise downstairs?
No, we did not.
Can you do that within the next 30 seconds so that we can hear?
So right now at 69.7 degrees, can you make the temperature drop at this table? Ooh, what was that?
I don't, me probably, there was just a really weird smell right here. You guys, I think there's something down there. I really feel like I'm sitting in a really exposed area right now. Hello? So, can you tell us if you lived here? Did you ever live here? I thought I just heard a man speaking at a distance that way. What is that sound?
I don't know.
It is creeping me out.
What is that noise? You want me to sit over there?
Yeah. If you could sit with you closer to that side right there.
I'm bringing my chair. This thing's comfortable. I'll actually sit with my back to this wall, or to this hallway. So if you want to come right up and tug on my hair, go right ahead. Just me, though.
Yeah, he's the guy that has hardly any hair.
Okay, tug my ear. Can you come up and touch me on my arm or my back? I'm holding my hand up. Me and only me. I give you permission to come up and touch me only. Nobody else. Just to let me know you're here. Or tap on my chair.
Do something audible, because touching you we won't be able to tell.
Okay.
Like, yeah, do something audible, or, yeah, that we can hear, or that you can record.
Can you come up and bang on the door beside me? Or knock over the meter that's sitting on the floor with the red light beside me? or come up and holler your name into my ear. That was my chair.
Ooh. That was like a holler.
It sounded like a whistle to me, but it could have been.
That's what I thought I heard was a whistle.
I know, but what I meant was it was like exerted, whatever it was.
Was that you hollering to me or whistling? Thank you. Can you knock on this door beside me twice to let me know you're here, please? Can you turn on one of the lights up here?
We heard you turn on lights, or somebody turns on lights in different areas of the house. Can you do it for us right now, please?
Something's touching my neck.
Something's touching your neck? Where?
Right here. Oh my god, the hair's like standing right up. It felt like something was just...
Okay. Is that the heat? Oh my gosh, I feel like we're being stared at intensely. I just feel like somebody's staring at us.
Carriage just go by?
Yeah. Can you knock one of the candlesticks over, please? There are candlesticks standing up against... Hey, did you hear a uh-oh in there?
No, I didn't.
There are candlesticks next to Mrs. Hill's bedroom door. Can you knock one over, please, while we're looking? And I'm looking right now. If you knock over the candlesticks, we'll pick them up.
That was on the table.
Yes, I do not know what that was, but I'm looking right at the table.
Me too.
Whoa, shh. Thank you. Keep going. You can knock something over, it's fine. Push it. Okay, we're gonna get ready to move to a different area of the house unless you can do something like turn on the lights to let us know that you're here. It has to be something, no pressure, but it has to be something that's really kind of,
Impressive.
yeah, without, you know, not threatening. And something that we can see, something that's in front of us, basically. Or if you turn on the lights, then everybody can see that. And we heard that you're really good at turning on the lights. So we would like to be here when you turn the lights on, if you don't mind, if you can do that. Whatever you do, it has to be something that we can really see, which is in front of us. So we're here on the second floor and we're wrapping up and we're heading down the stairs. I would say that of the whole time that we've been up here, when we didn't ask for any signs, there were no sounds that we thought might have been something. There were no sounds. When we asked for signs, within, I don't know, how many minutes would you say, John?
Within a minute, most of the time.
Yeah, within a minute, we heard some pretty significant sounds, so I'm not really sure, I'm hoping that we got some EVPs, some vocals and things like that, because the sounds that we got were very coincidental. If they were coincidences, they were very coincidental, because there were no sounds, and we'd ask for sounds, and there the sounds would be.
So while we were up here on the second floor, I was sitting over in that chair and Kat was on the steps, and it sounded like something had slid on the table. So I'm hoping we could caught it with one of the 2 DVRs or one of the handheld camcorders. We'll have to look at it later to see, but it distinctly sounded like something sliding or moving on the table. Also, at one point, personal experience, it felt like something was touching the back of my head after I'd asked for it. And we had several noises. When we asked for a noise, we got a noise, and there was a few really loud bangs. Almost sounded like someone banging metal or pipes to me. So all in all, there were a few good experiences on the second floor. Hopefully we'll come up with something. Also in the very beginning, I think both Tony and I heard what we thought was a whistle. So it'll be interesting to see if that was picked up by any of the audio recorders.
What we did in here was we came in, we set up an audio recorder. It's on this. It's back here on the staging area. It's on the floor back there. We have two security cameras that can see us all the way to back here, and we set up some additional gear. This is a K3 meter. I'm going to try to get this set. We'll keep it away from us. I'm going to set it on the ionic setting, which is quite different than the electromagnetic setting. So if there's a spirit around and it comes near this K3, it would be very interesting for us to see. Also, we're going to be working with the Ovilus, and that's this device right here. It has a vocabulary of words in it, or a dictionary of words in it. And when it speaks, it'll speak through these loudspeakers. Hopefully we will hear something. Do we have anything else? Oh, and the puck. All right, and I'll let Tony explain how the puck works.
This device that we're going to use right now, while we're doing our investigation in this area of the building, is called a paranormal puck. And the paranormal puck is a combination of several devices. It works much like the Ovilus, a K2 meter, and it has a thermometer built into it. And it uses the ambient energy or the ambient electromagnetic field as well as the temperature, and it tries to determine what spirit communication may be coming through. And then it prints it up here on the screen. We were actually able to type in a question down here on the screen, and then it'll write a response as well as the question up onto this screen here. What it does is it helps us record, here's what the investigator asked, here's the response that came through the puck to the device. And we can record that, we can screen capture that. We get a lot of other readings here as far as what the K2 reading is, the EMF reading is in the air, what the temperature is, and And we're able to record all of that and take screenshots of that so we can capture it for later. And it timestamps it and puts a watermark on it so you can see that it hasn't been altered in case there's any questions about the validity of the data. So we haven't used this a lot. We're going to use it again tonight for probably the third or fourth time and see how it does.
Yes.
Good place. Nice.
Yeah, this room was added back in the 60s. The old Lake missionaries had this put in to hold their own functions.
Okay. So you said the old Lakes missionaries had this put in. Did they just did they renovate this to be open like this, or was this originally?
This is originally the way they had it built.
Okay.
So
this wasn't part
original
of the original
family.
structure.
No.
Right. Okay.
No.
So this was not part of the original structure.
No.
It's good thinking, Mark. Putting the right thing together.
Yeah. And originally, because the original kitchen was underneath the carriage house, originally they had dumbwaiters that went down to the basement, and then they would wheel it up the tunnel and bring it up to the gold room.
So there's a tunnel in here?
Well, there's another hall,
Okay.
and then the old tunnel, it's kind of been renovated like, it's not really a tunnel anymore, it's more like the hallway. Yeah.
All right.
And it was just one of those, I had my camera because we were taking pictures for a function or getting ready, and I wanted to take a picture of the chef from here cooking at the stove. And while I'm looking in my camera, I couldn't see him because all I could see was this white thing. And I kept putting my camera down and I'd look, I'd turn the camera around and wipe the lens, you know, put it back up. And while I'm taking the picture, and my daughter's friend was with me, and this white globe just kept getting bigger and bigger. And so I still thought, well, what the heck is that? And I kept wiping it. And then I went to take it again, and that white just came right at me.
Wow.
And I threw the camera down, and it's like, what the heck was that?
So it came at you from the kitchen through the door?
From the kitchen, yeah. And
Wow.
it just kind of like, and so to this day, I don't know what it was.
Did you feel cold at all when it came towards you? Or?
Oh, well, I had chills.
Did you?
Yeah.
All right. That's cool.
But this is the original kitchen.
So where was the chef when you were trying to get a picture of him?
The chef was standing at the stove.
Okay, right next to there.
Yeah.
And these are all these are all the original kitchen equipment, the oven and stoves.
Yes.
So we're in the, are we in the carriage house now?
Yes.
So being a carriage house, and this was this like more like a servant quarter area? Is that what it was? Okay.
When we first moved in here after the fire, we were on that side of the carriage house, and then we moved into the other side. But I think there's a lot of activity over there.
There's a lot of activity up here.
Yes.
All right, so what kind of activity is going on up there? Elaborate just a little bit on that. Or?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the first time I saw. Well, I call them the man in black
Okay.
and the lady in white.
Yeah.
And the man in black has been seen in Columbus Hall a few times by certain employees that work here that didn't know anything about it.
Really? So you call him the man in black? Is he dressed all in black, like maybe a priest or something, or?
At first I thought it was a priest, and then I think he was one of the horsemen. The way he's dressed, I mean, I can tell he's a tall man, all dressed in black, and he has like a white ascot right here with the top hat.
Okay. All right.
The first time I saw the man in black was in my bedroom, actually, in the carriage house, and my husband had me convinced it was shadows from the streetlights, which, okay,
Yeah, that can
I'll
happen.
take that.
Yeah.
And then the next morning, very early the next morning, I was in my office. It was about 7 o'clock, and we had a new employee just coming into work, and she stopped by my office and she says, introduced herself to me. And she says, by the way, who's the guy dressed in black standing in the middle of Columbus Hall, which is this hall?
Wow.
And I said, there's nobody here. I said, it's only 7 o'clock. There's nobody here. She says, oh, yes, there is. So I came out to look, but of course everything was gone.
Right.
And then she described the same man I saw in my bedroom that night, up to the top hat, and the white ascot, and the long black coat. So she didn't know.
Right. She had no idea of the previous report?
No.
Of the Man in Black. That's great. Does the Man in Black ever display any kind of awareness that somebody else in the room with him?
No, it's a very quick.
Kind of a glance out of the corner of your eye?
Yes, very quick sighting. I mean, enough so that you can tell what he's wearing. But I've seen him 3 or 4 times, and I don't remember ever making eye contact or really being able to see the face.
Right. So he doesn't interact with anybody?
No.
Great. All right. Let's move on to another area of the board.
One of the carriage men is about 3 years ago. I was in one of the local attorney's office here on Silver Street, and I was sitting in the waiting room, and they had pictures of historic Augusta.
Oh.
And I'm looking at the pictures, and my daughter says, Mom, look, there's the Hill Mansion. And I said, oh, it's one of the old pictures. So I get up and I look, and it was a picture of the mansion with a horse and buggy in the front, and who is standing holding the horse. And I had chills all over me because I said, oh my God, that's him. And that's why I think it's one of the, I knew right away. I said, I think that's him. Very tall and thin. He was dressed exactly the way I saw. That happens all the time. All the time. They're very, I've never felt afraid. I think they're pranksters.
So what are they moving? Are they moving furniture? Are they moving objects? Or?
Not furniture.
Keys or cups or?
And at first I'm thinking it's just misplacing
Right.
stuff. But I'll be looking for it, and then I'll say, all right, where did you guys put it? Just joking around, and I'll come back through, and there it is, right in plain view.
No. So at least they bring it back to you.
Yes.
That's nice of them.
Yeah.
Is there anybody here with us right now? So far as we know, there's only 3 people in this room right now. My name's Kat.
I'm John. I'm Tony.
And we're in the Columbus Hall banquet room. And we want to speak to whoever may be in here with us. Both of these just came on. We have a few devices that you can use to communicate with us. The only rule we have is that if you want to use the flashlights to communicate with us, you have to respond within 8 to 10 seconds, or we will not take your responses seriously, as we will if you do answer within 8 to 10 seconds. If you understand, feel free to turn on, not that flashlight, it's already on, any of these other flashlights here within 8 to 10 seconds, starting right now. That one. Good, thank you. This one was within 8 to 10 seconds. I'm gonna jump on the floor right here, Tony. Did it shook where you are, right? Didn't do anything to that, did it? Okay. It didn't do anything to any of these other ones over here, so I did not make that go just by walking. We also have another device back here, and I don't know if you can see the red light from where you are. That's the K3 meter. The K3 meter is for the spirits, huh?
I can see it, but it's white on this.
Oh, okay. It's back there. The K3 meter for any spirits that are here is for you to go walk near if you want us to know that you're here. You'll go walk near that red light over there, and if you have enough energy about you, that will actually start making a sound. And the lights will go from red to green. It's really impressive. You should try it sometime. We're not going to walk near it, but we invite you to walk near it. There's also a flashlight right beside it if you would like to manipulate the flashlight to let us know that you're here. Is there a man here with us? Is there a man here with us? The horses need tending too. The light came on. And is it on video at all? You have to, so one of you guys has to stand back.
You keep going, you're too far into the dark.
Oh, well, you don't have a strong enough light?
Well, you get so far away.
Okay. Sorry, let me just stand. If you're here with us and you know about horses, can you turn on one of these flashlights within the next 8 to 10 seconds, please? Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. All right, I'll ask you another question. I'd like to ask you another question. I'll do that when these flashlights are off again. Thank you for that. Go ahead and let this one go out, if you can. If I call you by the name that the people who work here know you as, will you impress us with your presence? Okay.
John Coffey. What was that?
There was a snap over there, but
While you were coughing, did your belly grow or anything? Or? No.
not mine either.
Wow, I heard something go, oh,
Okay.
after you coughed.
All right.
John Coffey. What was that?
There was a snap over there, but
John Coffey. What was that?
there was a snap over there, but
John Coffey. What was that?
there was a snap over there, but does the name Man in Black mean anything to you? Are you here with us right now? Are you in the kitchen? Are you from the kitchen? Did you used to work in the kitchen? Did you work here for a long time? For the Hill House, the Hill Mansion? If you're really here, can you please give us a sign that we cannot confuse as somebody else? Oh, my hair just got pulled. There was a sound back there. Did you hear it right away? There's another one. Did you hear that?
I heard it.
Slightly impressive. Try again. Please. I just got a blow in my ear. Like someone went like that. Really lightly. Go ahead and do something that all of us can see. We just did a flashlight session in the Columbus Banquet Hall. And we seem to have had some responses to our questions from a few flashlights. One here, one there, and one in the back there. We're still waiting for somebody to come in and trigger the K3. I'm not sure that's gonna happen today, but it would be nice if it would. The heat just kicked on, so we're not gonna ask any more questions from the flashlights. We're gonna go and see what kind of information the puck might have given us, and we might turn on the obelisk for a short period of time to see if maybe they can communicate with us through those two devices. So that's what's going on right now.
So, do you want me to read what this thing is saying, or? I don't want to read everything, but
No. Just tell what it's been doing and...
I need to cancel the constant mode for me to be able to read down through. Alright, so the puck's been running for probably 20 minutes now. And it's definitely generated an awful lot of data. As I scroll down through here, can you see the screen? You can see as I scroll down through there's a lot of data on the screen. So I'm just going to kind of look through and glance at what it's had to say and see if there's anything that kind of sticks out. So what's interesting here is so this actually spit out the word puck at one point during its run tonight. But what's interesting is this building, the third floor of this building is rented by the Catholic Charities. It was actually owned at one point in time by the Catholic Charities, and the Oblates was in here as well. And up here in this first big block of words, it put together pray and minister. So I don't know if it's picking up on the fact that this was a spiritual place at one point in time. It actually says the word minister before that in the line above as well. So this building was used not only for Catholic purposes, but also for just religious retreats. There's the word, it's the name Anthony. The word slave, my shoes, secret. The fourth floor of this building was used to house some Japanese refugees back during the Japanese internment camps. The Hills actually let them stay up there, and they were there during that period of time, and they became servants for the Hills after that. But they helped keep them protected and keep them safe up there. And so that would have been a secret in this building. I'm just looking down through some more here. Crops, power, shaken, war.
There's a fire pit right there.
Oh, the word fire is in here, yeah. And there is a fireplace right over behind us. So crops, power, shaken, war. Fire again.
Well, that's why the internment camps were put in place. It was World War
Yeah, World War II. Yeah, so it does say the word war here. And and the internment camps were put into place because of World War II. And then it talks about peace, gateway, stretched building, worry. So I wonder if maybe
Wow.
there became, so many people living in the building at one point in time that it...
No, but they stretched the building from there
Yeah.
to that building.
That's right.
If you talk about it, please.
So it says quickly, gateway, stretched building. And this is all one building now, but it used to be two separate buildings. So the main mansion house is over here, the carriage house is over on this end, and in between, they built this big conference area. Underneath was another ballroom area and then a tunnel that went between the two buildings. But there was never a structure here. And the Oblates built this when they purchased the building. So they stretched the building out.
Go ahead.
Says here, this whole line, cow power is Japanese Kansas bacon.
Oh, the lights just went on. Japanese?
Yeah. Japanese Kansas bacon.
The Japanese family that was living upstairs. Are you here? Was that you trying to communicate?
Another pray. Word pray.
Why don't you ask it a question? Ask if the Japanese people are here.
All right. So we're going to type in a question here and see if it'll come back and give us a valid response. So we're going to ask, are the Japanese people here with us?
What was that?
I don't know.
The light in the back just went on. If you're here with us, can you please go near the red light back there on the table and turn on the K3 meter? Please? Just by walking by it, trying to touch it, we'll turn it on.
That light just came on.
Did it answer? What did it say?
So I asked, are the Japanese people here with us? And then it says censures down. So I asked, is the Japanese family here? And it says park power. Park, P-A-R-K, and then power. Let's ask if the Hills are here with us.
Mr. Hill? Governor Hill?
As I wrote, are the Hills here with us tonight? And it wrote them stretched hello.
Wow. Wow. That's interesting. If you're here with us, the Hill family, can you please... Whoa.
What?
Both of those lights on both those tables came on at the same exact time.
Huh. All right. So I'm going to close down the puck. I'm going to turn it off. It has logged all the data that it's captured tonight, so we'll have that for later review. We can look at the words a little more closely.